Daily Fill, episode number 87, brought to you by drummersilike.net. What is up, drummers? It is Tuesday morning, and this is Rich here with your daily dose of motivation, drive, fuel, education, knowledge, everything I can pretty much figure out how to give you in a short episode. That's right, we are actually back today. Well, I'm back. I'm excited. Last week was a tough week. Actually, it's just been a tough last 2 weeks, to be honest. And today I'm gonna take some time and update everybody on everything we've got going on over here at Camp Drummers I Like. Kind of filling everyone in on how we missed a guest podcast on Friday last week, which is, where's episode 68? That was the first time in 60 episodes that we've missed a weekly show. And it wasn't so much that we missed it, but it was kind of the circumstance wrapped around it, which I'll get to here in a minute. But before I do, I want to talk about a couple things I've got going on for Drummers I Like. So, for one, I've really been pushing a few things lately. If you've seen on our social media, I've been posting these graphics with questions. Tag your favorite drummer, do this, do that. I'm trying to get a conversation open. I have this forum on our website, drummersilike.net, and I've just never really pushed it. I've had it there for the pro members for a while, but I actually have a free area of it, and I want to get the conversation going. So, I'll start on social media, and hopefully we can kind of push this stuff over to the website and kind of blow the forum up a little bit. I'd love to do it. I'd love to get more conversation going. So you can check that out at drummersilike.net/forums. And then, of course, I can't give you a link to the community group, the private Facebook group, but we have a private Facebook group where members of the podcast, guests that have come on the podcast, fans, tons of people we connect with through social media, kind of all gather to talk about drums, talk about podcast episodes, post their personal stuff. And I want to grow it. I want it to be big. I feel like it's waiting, and it could be a great space for all of our, fans and listeners and drummers and everybody who's trying to communicate and get their message out there, to post their videos, to post their questions, to kind of open up the conversation loop. So go do it. The links are in the show notes, or you can type in Drummers I Like. Actually, you can't. You got to get it through the show notes. I'm going to update to the sidebars on the website. I haven't done it. Slap on the wrist Rich, but they say the grow your Instagram guide stuff. I'll take that off and I'll replace that with some quick links to the Facebook stuff. Otherwise, it's in the bottom, baby. It's in the bottom. And what else? Oh, yes. Big shout out to our sponsor, Predator Percussion. He is doing a lot of work. He just finished his first drum set. Pretty stoked, Mike. Pretty stoked on that tobacco burst. She's sexy. She real sexy. Super sick to see Mike progressing. A lot of stuff going on at Camp Predator. Can't wait to show you guys the website. I just did a lot of work on it today, too. So, let's making moves, baby. And yeah, so the fam has been sick. My son has been super sick, and it got me really sick. Then it got my wife sick. Then it all died down for a day, and we thought everything was great, and then never got really sick again, and he got a fever. And our insurance, we just got it 2 months ago. We're still trying to figure out who our doctors are and get everything kind of situated. And I don't know if anyone's familiar with health insurance, but it sucks ass. And it's the most ridiculous thing ever. It's like buying a car at a car dealership. All the power is in their hands, and they just pretty much get to pick which of the 5 ways they can screw you the best will be. And you kind of get lucky if you get a good one, and you can spend a lot of monthly fees on it. But Rich here can't afford $4,000 a month plus a $10,000 deductible, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I went with a different company that was a little less known and a little less expensive, but requires a lot more effort to get seen. So yeah, I was dealing with all that stuff while also dealing with the business renewal for Drummers I Like, also dealing with tons of stuff with my other podcast. Not bad stuff, but just overwhelming work. But it got super crazy because last week the hurricane hit Kevin, And the week before that, it was getting ready to hit him, so he missed his Thursday show, the gear review, and then the hurricane hit and he was out of power, so we couldn't record both podcasts, one of which was rescheduled from the prior week because Kevin couldn't do it, because these damn hurricanes, man, they killed it for him. So I missed 2 podcasts, last week's podcast, Kevin missed 2 shows in a row, and then by Friday, I was trying to fit this recording in, and it was just, our schedules could not meet up, and we just could not get the show done, and I'll be honest, I was like freaking the F out all night Thursday, all day Thursday, all Friday. Like I put a story out that's like, hey, I'm putting a show up, don't worry, it's coming out anyways. And I never did it. I never had time. Between full-time parenting a sick kid, because my wife got sick again on Friday, and then it died down until Sunday, and then this morning she woke up like really bad, super bad, and I finally got my son down there this morning. Now I got to send my wife down to a doctor's tomorrow, but to find out, he did have an infection. He was starting to get this little earache, and it was just kind of looking pretty bad for the little guy. Yesterday was like insane. I've never seen my kid so sick, and while that's happening, shows are dropping. I'm missing all this stuff. Like, it's just, it was tough. It was tough, and it had me thinking about a lot of things, and also kind of was enlightening for me. It was kind of a release. Like, I've tied myself down to the, extremities of Drummers I Like, from the server stuff, the coding, the back end, to the graphics, to the video, to everything that I kind of do to put the big picture together. And it was, as much as it was painstaking to not get it done, or to not have it up, the anxiety, all the frustration, when I was able to kind of just let it go, it was nice. I kind of, was able to relax a little bit and, see that it's not that big of a deal if I miss a show or two. I will say downloads dropped like freaking crazy because of these show drops, and I get it, but we put out 5 shows a week, so missing 2, it's not that big of a deal to me. This is a lot of our hard work and effort to make these shows happen, to create this content, to stay on top of stuff, to book shows, to just kind of try to be as professional about it as possible. So, I felt pretty good that even though we didn't get it out, it wasn't the end of the world for Drummers I Like. But we're back this week. Kevin's good. We have got shows galore. This Friday's podcast is going to be big. I'm excited about that one. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We got another month of pro that's about to kick in with another guest. We've got a lot of stuff we're doing with the podcast. The team members, the team here at Drummers I Like is really starting to come to fruition. I've got my inner circle locked in, and you know what? After the last intern hire and the amount of effort it took just to get someone like Scott, it's really made me feel super comfy about the future, and that's why we're going to do some cool stuff with the intern program. I plan to open it back up, and I do it every 3 to 4 months. It's kind of like my cycle. Sometimes I wait a little bit longer, like before when I had like 10 interns at once, and I'm trying to really find my team. I just picked someone up for social tonight to help me with that stuff. I need a graphic designer. I need multiple graphics people. I need video people. I need editors. I need coders. I need to build out our organization, because the whole point of this intern process is to and I tried to do this last time, and I got so overwhelmed and so into Scott and hiring him and getting him set up that I'm really sorry to everyone that applied. I couldn't get back to everybody. A lot of people I just kind of dropped the ball on, and it's kind of the price of, being the only person. I'm literally doing 18 things a day for Drummers I Like. So it's awesome when I get one, but if I missed a couple, and a couple of you guys that really wanted to do this, if you want to do it again, now's the time, because I have a lot of people that are going to be helping me get things done, and we're really going to grow this team into a nice little organization so that we can move forward with our plans as, Drummers I Like, to do a lot of different things. And one thing we really want to do is dial things back and really get focused on these podcasts, at least for the Friday shows and stuff. We want to evolve them. We want to make them different. We want to take them to the next level. We want to offer more to them, and we want to give you more entertainment, because let's be honest, we love doing pro, but there's a lot of people out there that give drum lessons. So we're trying to be very specific with the content that we create for that, factor of things, and then at the same time give you guys the greatest free stuff ever. I want everything that we do that's available on the daily to be the best of the best. I don't want you to think that there's this is just the bare minimum and then you got to pay for the best. No way. We go really hard on this content, spend a lot of time writing this stuff and putting it together because we're passionate about it. So we want to bring on more people that are passionate. We need passionate social people. We need passionate People that can create marketing material, people that understand formulas, people that want to learn. Because guess what? That's the best part about the intern program, is that I do look for people with kind of a base understanding of things. But, the whole point is, if for some reason it doesn't work out, at least you walk away with some help, with some upgrades to your resume, some new skill sets. You can ask a lot of the people that have worked with us. I go out of my way to teach as much as possible about how to work the systems. I just taught Scott how to use our entire back end, which to me is a severe value, to understand WordPress, to understand the posting systems, to understand how to write SEO, to understand our back end. It's important, and I think it's also a very hard skill set to obtain if you have no clue to how to even log into the back of a WordPress, let alone are you going to edit PHP? It's a lot of work. So, I think there's value in that, and I want to teach. I do, and I want to innovate, and I want to bring people on that can help grow the brand and help bring new ideas to the table, because Rich can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. I'm sorry, speaking in third person, it sounds funny, but I can't do it on my own, and I want to grow that team for that sake. So, as usual, you can head over to intern.drummersilike.net right now to apply. It's very specific. Like I said, content writers, graphic designers, social media heads, people that understand marketing. All these things are very important. And even if you understand it to some small extent where you can kind of like talk about it on a basic level, on a surface level, that's fine. I'll teach you more. I'll let you learn. I'll give you everything I've got to know and got to learn about this, and really let you be a part of our team. And we have a lot of fun. We have a little Slack chat room that we're just boys to the extreme. We have a lot of fun, and it's always cool to bring a new person into. So, and just because I say boys to the extreme, I don't mean that. If you're a female and you are interested in interning, I am not biased. You can totally come on. We have had females in the intern group before, and by far some of the greatest, graphic designers around are females. So if you're doing graphics and you're female, please knock on the drummersilike.net door, because there's a lot of opportunity here. And I know it's intern, but if this becomes something bigger than it is, and we can really take things to the next height, I will hire you, especially if you kick ass. So keep that in mind, and remember, it's intern.drummersilike.net, which is super duper cool. And look, serious people only. I have had a couple people that did waste my time, and it really turned me off to a lot of stuff. And look, it takes a lot of time and effort. I keep saying it, I'll reiterate, it's a lot of time and effort to do this stuff. So I don't want to waste your time, so don't waste mine or my team's. Damn. So there's that. Updated you guys on everything with Kevin, with the podcast, because we are back every day this week, like I said. That'll be pretty cool. And what else did I want to talk about? I feel like I kind of had a point today, and I think maybe the main point is got to be, embracing your journey. You really got to do it, because, if I step back back earlier when I was talking about, being really impatient and frustrated about content not going out or the podcast getting missed. It's like sometimes I try so hard to control every aspect of my life and every situation that was just like eating a big bowl of like in your face soup. I can't even think of the words, but, being forced, and then also kind of forcing myself to dealing with the results of not getting the show up, and like what it would feel like afterwards, something I haven't experienced in over a year and a half, kind of freed me a little bit. It allowed me to, embrace my journey. It really did. It really allowed me to embrace the day and realize that, look, at the end of the day, this is just a podcast. It's just entertainment. You know what I mean? There's nothing serious that requires every show to go up. If it doesn't go up, it doesn't go up. If you miss a show, you miss a show. We'll be back, baby. We're coming back as much as possible. And the big point here, my father-in-law always says this to me, and I agree and disagree, but he always tells me not to sweat the small stuff, because everything is small stuff, which I can't disagree with that. A lot of stuff is small stuff, and I'm one to definitely get caught up in the small stuff. So it was a wake-up call. So what's my challenge? My challenge, because I did it last week, I'm going to do it again this week. What's my challenge for you? My challenge is for you to maybe misstep somewhere. Maybe let something fall through. Maybe not go 100% on something that you feel like you've been putting a lot of time into, and are kind of afraid, or maybe afraid of what's going to happen if things change, or if you miss a step, or if you change a step. I'm thinking, very broadly here, but, embrace what you may think could be a negative situation and try to see it from a different perspective. Try to understand it from a different perspective, because I was looking at it from one perspective. I miss podcasts. I lose downloads. I lose loyal fans. I lose subscribers. I lose this pace that I've kept up for so long, which is kind of stupid. I put this whole every episode, every week on this pedestal, like it was some trophy or award that was supposed to be won. But there's no award. There's no trophy. I made this shit up in my head. I put it there as this accolade that I needed, that I didn't need. And now I know it. Now I know that if we miss episode 74, then we miss episode 74. Who gives a shit? It's just a show. You'll come back next week, or I hope you will, but at least you know that, I'm not gone. And I don't think anyone thought that. So it's nice to be aware of that. It's nice to be aware that it's just not always about getting the show up. It's really about the content and really about the purpose of doing it. If you can't get it done, if something stands in the way of something you think that's important, you got to just look, what's more important here? And in my circumstances, and Kevin's circumstances, and Scott's circumstances last week, our lives are more important. Kevin and the hurricanes. Scott and dealing with having to move potentially, which he still has to. He had to figure out on a dime, where am I going to live in a couple days? My son being sick and my wife being sick and me being literally left with all the duties, and in such a way that's okay, do I feed my son and get him all prepped and handle him all day, get him to school, and he's sick now, I gotta get his medicine, his doctor's appointments, because my wife's in bed with a 104 fever. Do I complain and cry and get frustrated because drummers I like can't get done, or Radio 420 can't get done? Or do I take a break from the real world or I would say really the autonomous fake world, and handle my affairs that really matter, like my son's health? All these things are much more important than any branding, any work, anything. And that should be for everybody. Your health, your family, your friends, the people that matter most to you, that's all much more important than social media and how many likes and views and what the hell ever. It seems like it matters, but it doesn't. Another great thing about this drumming community, everyone's so good at just embracing the beauty of being with each other. It really kicks ass. It really does. So, I challenge you. Miss something. Let something fail. Maybe something that you think is really serious isn't that serious. And if you switch gears tonight and don't post that podcast per se, and maybe hang out and do some self-therapy, meditate, take a nap, take a long shower. I love long showers where I can just think. No devices, no electronics. All I can do is think. Let it all out. Maybe that's what you need to do tonight. Now, don't go skipping school or quitting your job or getting fired and then come and blame me for all that shit. I'm not saying stuff like that, but smaller things. If you run a blog, if you do things online, if you're I feel like a lot of you, like me, are probably trying to grow your social media all the time. So you're posting, you're figuring out different things, you're consistently wrapped around the content creation. Take a break for a day. Don't post tomorrow. Pick a day that you're not going to post that you would normally post, and just let it go. That's my challenge. Embrace that journey. Right? Is that a little bit more forward? Make more sense? Just turn off social media for a day. I dare you. I dare you. That was scary. All right, everybody. It's about that time to wrap things up. About a 20-minute episode, so let's get this content in and out for you. Seriously, embrace that journey. I'm telling you, there's a lot of ways to figure that out, to apply that sense to something in your life. I can't pinpoint it for you like I pinpoint it for myself, but get creative. I know you are. All right, everybody. Seriously, thank you so much. If you want to be a part of the intern program, it's intern.drummersalike.net. That Facebook group link is in the show notes, baby. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Drummers I Like. What else? Leave a comment below. I want to know. Leave a review. I want to know what you think about the show. All those links are below. And we will be back tomorrow with an episode of The Morning Fuel with JC Clifford. We got another guest coming on. So if you missed last week's episode with Christian Beaulieu of Drum Tax, JC's counterpart, go back. It's a link in the show notes. Super awesome show. Super insightful. I had a lot of fun doing that one. So go peep it. Anything else? Man, I usually edit down these parts of the show, but I just can't think off the top of my head what else I wanted to say. Interns, Facebook group, reviews, leave us reviews. I guess that's it. That's the show. That's the shit right there. All right, everybody. Enjoy your day. Stay motivated. Stay hungry. And hit me up if you have any questions. Take care.